So let's talk about the cost of getting in shape at 40 plus. Some of the costs are really simple. You think, I want a gym membership, maybe I need some new running shoes, maybe a new outfit to work out in. I've probably got to change my diet a little bit, come up with a different menu, maybe spend some money on food that I hadn't spent before. Those are pretty easy costs to think about. But what about some of the hidden costs that no one ever wants to take into account and that represent really significant barriers to actually getting in shape at 40 plus? For instance, if you're a normal guy, you've successfully gotten heavier and heavier ever since you left school, you find yourself now at 40 or 50, you're probably 20 or 30 kilo heavier than you should be. So where you left school at 70 or 80 kilo, you're now 100, 110, 120 kilo, and really need to return back to that 70 or 80 kilo to be healthy that you were when you finished high school or college. To lose that weight, you're going to need a new wardrobe. That's pretty easy, right? Like if you're going to lose 30 or 40 kilo, you're going to need all new clothes. Now that's not necessarily a big negative because shopping for clothes can be great fun, but you're going to need everything except for new shoes. Your underwear is going to have to change, your shirts will have to change, pants, belts, every single thing in your wardrobe is going to have to be replaced. Are you prepared to pay that price? If you're not, it's going to be very easy to continue telling yourself that you don't want to get in shape because you don't want to pay the price. Now let's talk about some kind of more evil, sneaky costs. Are you prepared to not have any social life? If your social life, like a lot of people, revolves around food and alcohol, maybe it's brunches on weekends, maybe it's boozy dinners, maybe it's work functions. If your social life revolves around these things and you want to turn the corner and lose a lot of weight, you're going to need a new relationship with food and alcohol. Are you prepared to not go to these social events? Is your partner prepared for you not to go to these social events? Because the reality of getting in shape is going to be that you're probably going to want to get up early to go and do some exercise. So when everyone else is wanting to go to brunch, you're probably training. When everyone else is wanting to go to dinner, you're probably going to bed early so you can get up and train the next day. Are you prepared to pay the price of not participating in that element of your social life? Is your partner prepared for you not to go to those events? And are you prepared for the possible rift that may cause in your relationship? These are costs that no one ever wants to talk about. But I can tell you now, I've seen marriages fail because one partner wants to get healthy and stay that way and the other one doesn't. It causes an enormous rift in the relationships. It's a big price to pay. Now, what about some of the other costs? Are you prepared, if you're the social eater and drinker, to give up your friends? It seems like that's outrageous, but that's the truth. Again, if your social life revolves around social eating and drinking, all of your friends are social eaters and drinkers, and that's how you all catch up. That's the bond that you share, is eating and drinking together. When you don't go, your friendships will falter. They will only ask you so many times if you're prepared to come out. And when you keep saying no, because, hey, I have to train tomorrow. No, because I have to be at the gym when you want to go to brunch, they'll stop asking. And sooner or later, those friendships will disappear. Now, you will get new friends, but are you prepared to walk away from friendships that you may have had for your whole life? What about if you want to train for something big, like an Ironman as an example? Are your kids going to remember that this is the year Dad did an Ironman, or are they going to remember this is the year Dad slept on the couch all afternoon because he was riding his bike for 5 hours on one day and running for 3 hours the next and collapsed exhausted on the couch afterwards? Are you prepared to lose those years with your kids while you chase these big goals? Is your partner prepared for you to lose that time with the kids? Is your partner prepared for you to not do any housework because you're too exhausted? Are you prepared to pay that cost? If you're not prepared to pay that cost, that's okay. There's no contentious issue here between you and I. These are choices that only you can make. But if you're not prepared to pay that price, you are not going to get in shape. Full stop. If you're not prepared to stop the social eating and drinking, you won't pay the price of not going to those events. You won't change your relationship with food and alcohol. You won't get in shape. If you're not prepared to give up the late nights and the weekends of eating and drinking, you're probably not going to get in shape. If you're not prepared to do something different, to pay the price of change, you're going to stay the same as you are right now. And these are all the hidden costs of getting in shape at 40 plus. Everyone thinks it's just about paying for the gym membership, maybe paying for a trainer or a coach. They never think about what the real costs are. Now, I'm telling you, once you go through all this stuff, you're going to end up with friends that have the same hobbies as you anyway. You're going to have friends who understand why you don't want to go out at night because they're going to want to get up early and train as well. You're going to have friends who are supportive of you chasing big goals. Because you're leading your family from the front, they're all going to be on board with supporting you while you chase your big goals, provided you spend enough time in the off months looking after those relationships. But if you're not prepared to pay the price, you're not going to get in shape as an over 40 adult. That's just the reality. So don't think about the small costs. Don't think about the program cost. Don't think about the cost of a new book, a supplement. That's not the cost. The cost is all these hidden things in your life that you need to pay attention to. If you're not prepared to pay the cost of making these changes, you're not prepared to make change.